Welcome to What We Watch, Doing OK's entertainment podcast. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about Daybreak.
On Netflix.
Woo!
Its pilot in particular. It's called Josh versus the Apocalypse.
Part 1.
Part 1. You're going to have to wait a while for Part 2 according to IMDb. So, here we go. I'm Dan.
And I'm Clara.
And we just watched the pilot for Daybreak on Netflix. It's new, hip, zombie apocalypse show comedy thing that's like Ferris Bueller meets Mad Max meets Zombieland meets hilarity.
Meets a Twitter shitpost.
Yeah. Let's do like a quick, just like, would you recommend this without any spoilers? And then we'll get maybe more specific, right?
It would really depend
on your personality.
So, for example, would I recommend it to myself yesterday? Yes. Would I recommend it to Jackson? No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is I saw this trailer and I'm like, this intrigues me because it really is like I think the title probably is a reference to Scott Pilgrim, which it certainly has some things in common with too. It's a super self-referential, like not self-referential, referential show. Like it has all these little Easter eggs and things, and some of them are just hitting you over the head with them, but they're also calling out the fact that they're hitting you over the head with them. It's very like big comedy, like, oh, it's a high schooler in the apocalypse and he's talking to the camera and and it's there's not a whole lot of depth there, but there's some fun.
Yeah, we were about 15 seconds in. Dan goes, this is what Insatiable was trying to be.
Yeah.
And I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it's just irreverent. Or I don't know.
It's like irreverent of the concept of a television show. No, that's maybe a step too far.
It's hard for me to like put my finger on what kind of the comedy is. It's
a Twitter shitpost.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes I find a tweet and I think it's really funny, and I'm like, hey Ma, look at this tweet that I found that's really funny, and she looks at it and she goes like, huh. Well, I don't really understand it, but I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of humor.
Yeah, it is kind of like built on the back of memes and just...
It's meme funny.
Yeah, and just like oddness.
Yeah.
But not just like... it's hard to explain because like I personally didn't love stuff like Kimmy Schmidt or like... And I think that 30 Rock is sort of like that too, where I haven't
They're sort of like absurdist.
Yeah, it's just like something really weird happens and I'm supposed to think it's funny just because it's odd. Whereas here, I felt like it was more like people are saying weird things and performing it really well. And everything, yes, the things around them are really odd, but that's like in the nature of the show as opposed to just like being normal and then something really weird happening.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with the principal talking about nuts is like, that's just who he is.
It makes sense in this world.
Yeah, and it's just like I appreciate how they're sort of playing with a lot of the like hot button issues without really making any sort of statement about any of it.
I was really struck by how actually scary the scene was when you saw the explosion.
Yeah.
I thought like, you know what? This movie's funny and all, but
yeah.
There was a moment of actual sort of like dread.
Yeah, and I think that was what they were going for. Like that was the dramatic like core of the episode. Because we got like halfway through and I'm like, okay, this is fun, but the real challenge is, are they going to make me care?
I mean, they didn't. They haven't made me care about the characters, but I care about my world exploding. Yeah. I like people. Unlike this kid who doesn't, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess if we're going to talk about it, just like generally, would you recommend, like, I actually was a little let down. So I didn't want to talk about this that much before we started recording.
So you could see this look on my face.
I liked the first 10 minutes quite a bit. After that, I felt like it kind of dragged. And I have trouble seeing myself watching 10, 40-minute episodes of this.
What the fuck are they going to do?
I think this show would have been way better in 22-minute chunks.
I really think it should have been a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah. I mean, I think making it like a sitcom format could have been fine.
That could have.
I just don't think a 40-minute like drama styles thing is gonna work.
I have no idea what's gonna happen. I mean, so like the pilot did what a pilot should do.
Yeah.
It sort of whet my appetite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the cliffhanger at the end. I think we can talk about that, but like,
yeah.
meh. But I'm just so, like, how the hell can it sustain itself? I'm fascinated.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Like, the main thing I took away positively is they have funny writers. Like, they have good lines with good delivery, right?
Except for the little kid.
Yeah, except for the Angelica, the little kid, didn't get anything particularly good in the entire pilot. I think that Josh, the principal, Wesley, they all, like, did very good work.
Wesley was so good.
Yeah, Wesley
we can talk about that.
Yeah. Wesley was really good. I think that, and I also think that like the golf people and all that stuff were great too. Not great, but they had moments of greatness. It's trying to be like almost like one of those comedies where it's like you don't have to care about them, but also at the same time like you're supposed to give a crap about his journey to find this girlfriend, and they didn't really have much chemistry.
They didn't. That was so weird. Her name is Sam Dean. What the fuck?
Yes, there's the fact that, okay, so we should explain.
Sorry.
So the main actor who plays Josh, the protagonist, was on Supernatural playing young Sam, and then his girlfriend is Sam Dean, which is both of the main characters of Supernatural.
There's no reason they should have done that.
I think they literally did it because they cast him.
That is no excuse at all. This is another thing that I said during this. I turned to Dan and I said, "Who wrote this and why?" And I still don't know, but I'm still.
It's just. I guess what I was trying to say earlier is like I enjoy how they're like playing in the world of modern discussion.
Me too.
But they're giving one-liners, so they're not really necessarily like having a point of view.
Because it's a tweet. This entire thing is a tweet.
It's true. Yeah, it's a bunch of different tweets. But at the same time, I also appreciate that it's not like they're making fun of the, like sometimes it kind of feels like they're making fun of the times, but it's more like playing with the
it's more like God, we live in this crazy fucking world.
Yeah.
And it's actually interesting that they keep referencing like it's the apocalypse, everything's weird. But then like the stuff that's really weird is kind of like the fact that everyone is still going around saying things like, I should delete my Facebook. It's getting too divisive. And then meanwhile, like the world is ending.
Yeah.
But now
I think there's something there. There's something.
I
guess, and that's the thing is I need to watch more. I'm hoping maybe episode 2, like, because I liked watching Josh, even if I wasn't like, oh, this is a great character. The performance and the fact that he was interacting with me like made it so like I didn't care as much that he wasn't like a great character because he was a great like host.
He was a really good host, and actually like from the trailer and from the first scene, I was still sort of like, can this kid keep this up? And he could. And that was really impressive.
I think he did a good job. I think that, like you said, Wesley was probably the standout as far as like a character goes, and his whole rant about guns versus knives or swords was one of the highlights for me.
Yeah, he's an interesting character, and I'm excited to see how he became like he has elements of his character that I'm interested to find out more about. Exactly. I kind of don't. I'm interested in Josh insofar as I'm like, why is he the main character?
Yeah, why is he the main? Because he's white.
Well,
and boy, I don't know. I hope Angelica gets more interesting. I mean, like, I personally think that this pilot mostly failed. Like, it succeeded at making good quips, and it succeeded at making an interesting world I want to watch more of. But it failed in that I feel like the point of a pilot, especially this pilot, was to have these 3 separate people come together and form a team that I'm excited to watch. And I don't care about this team. You know, like that's what a pilot really is. Like,
I want to watch the jocks fighting things.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't care about his journey to find Sam. I don't care about Sam.
No.
I don't care about his backstory.
They really didn't have chemistry, huh?
They didn't have enough screen time to really inquire. Sure, like, for most of it, I was like, does she even like him?
Me too.
It was very unclear.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she went in for the pity peck, but
Oh, can we just talk really briefly about how sometimes the phrasing was really weird? Like, overall, I would say it was really well written, but then there were moments where I was like, what? And at one, like, they had this kid say, "How, like, you're a noob." What? Like, our kids. Hi,
hi,
viewers. Are you a youth? Please comment. What words do you use?
Well, yeah. What
is noob one of them?
What did the children say on Fortnite to be mad at each other?
Yeah. Do they say, "Are you still playing Fortnite?" Well, anyway.
I think here's the thing. I would argue that the term noob is still a term that exists. It's just not like an insult anymore. Like, you could be like, "Oh, I'm such a noob at this game," and I wouldn't bat an eye.
Okay.
But if I called you a noob, it would be weird.
But youth. Would you say that? Or would we say that because we're old?
Yeah.
Like, that's my...
But even as an old, I wouldn't call you a noob.
As they say, that's cringe.
As they say.
As they say in the show, I mean.
Cringe AF.
Cringe AF. Hey, kids, do you say AF out loud? I do sometimes, ironically.
I know people who say AF.
But it didn't... However they did it...
Yeah, but again, I don't even know if they're like trying to replicate how people actually talk as much as they're playing with the tools at their disposal.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have said noob, I guess.
Yeah, that's the main thing, because that's not one of the toolbox. That's not in the toolbox of 2019. Like, that's in the toolbox of 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to watch more because I legitimately thought it was funny, but I think the problem, again, comes back to, if it was 22 minutes, it being funny would be enough to get me through that 22 minutes. When it's 44 minutes, I'm like...
You do need some drama.
Yeah, I'm like, this isn't, like, you're losing me. I also think that I'm very torn on, like, the visual style of the world, because it looks insanely cheap, but, like, I don't know if that was the point. Like...
Yeah, I'm actually stunned that Netflix has made an original series that doesn't have over the top. I'm almost, it's so surprising to me at this point that it's not stunning shots.
Well, it's just like, it's still 4K HDR, but it's like, it kind of reminds me of when Amazon Prime first started out. They did a pilot for a Zombieland TV show, and everybody was like, man, this is super low budget and looks terrible. But...
Okay, this is like totally overstatement, but it feels like it's a teen. I don't know. It has this like youthful energy, and in part, I feel like that's because it's not a it's not gorgeous, and it's not really good special effects, and it's not like...
They create a feeling of, like, this feels like some friends got together and made a video.
Right, which then, because of the direct camera, like...
Yeah, there's something about it. Like, again, like, it doesn't look great, so I can't, like, praise it for its cinematography or anything like that. But it's not actually a huge detractor because I feel like it's intentional.
And it works. Like, I don't know. I didn't get pulled out of the reality for that. Yeah. I did because I didn't think that Sam and... I was going to say Sam and Dean. Sam and Dean have a lot of chemistry. Sam, Dean, and Josh do not. Yeah.
Well, it was weird with them because I felt like they were like on the nose about like, oh, it's a romance over multiple episodes. Like, I'm just like, oh, so you're pointing out like how like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Or it's kind of silly. But like, you didn't actually lands that joke to me. Yeah. Like, you actually, like, they did the montage of like cutesiness, and I'm like, that's an idea that could have been good. Yeah. I actually thought that montage was pretty lackluster.
No, I feel like that dialogue was the least, like, well written. Yeah. It wasn't, it lacked humor. Yeah. I don't know. I think they're trying to make that the earnest part.
To go back a second, I did want to say that while I'm okay with the visual style, I don't know that I will be for 10 episodes if it's always just like this orange desert looking thing. But maybe when they go to different areas, it will look sort of different.
I can imagine. I mean, I guess we'll see what the mall looks like. That could be kind of cool.
I'm also just generally interested in like the fact that they held back and like mostly just did the jocks this week. The fact that we have so many other or like, you know, groups to get to, that does interest me. Like I said, like the world building I'm excited about because it has lots of options for hilarity, like the 4-H club and the STEM punks.
I'm really glad that STEM punks. I think we would have been STEM punks.
I would be a great STEM punk.
I mean, we were in robotics club. That makes us STEM punks, right? Because we would have been like, oh, yeah, we know how to solder things, so we'll make a big robot to protect us. I mean, we wouldn't have, but we would have gone for it, maybe.
We would have had materials for it.
We would have had materials for it. That's,
All right. So generally speaking, I want to see more. I think we're probably going to try to do a season review next week of seeing how things go. But what did you guys think of the pilot? What did you think of the show in general? No spoilers. And should we keep going? And
we're gonna anyway. So.
Clara's pumped. I'm a little hesitant.
I need to see whether it holds up.
Yeah. I mean, again, it was funny enough that I'm like, yeah, I can watch. I can keep going.
Plus, like, it's the sort of thing, like, if I decide that I don't care about it, I'll just, like, have it on and clean.
Yeah. This is a great have it on and clean episode, as we saw by Olga ironing as we watched.
Yeah, she was, but you know what? She liked it.
She did, and she didn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
So there, Olga. All right, thanks guys for watching. Please leave your comments down below, like, subscribe, yell at Clara, and I hope you're doing okay.
No, don't yell at me, but I do want to know the slang for now.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, thanks.